Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some and peace out to the rest of you. Black heart, black mind, black end. Again, hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. For some of you that may be asking how it is, Medina's fine. It's not too cold. Weather's all right. Everybody's got a mask on out in public, except maybe really small kids. So, anyway, I wanted to say this, though. This is regarding colorism. I saw a meme that says, it's a hand-drawn meme where I guess a medium complexion man is talking to a lady in 2003 and he says, "Excuse me, miss, can I?" And she cuts him off right off the bat and says, "Oh no, you too black. Our kids ain't gonna do nothing but come out too black." And then 17 years later, meaning, 2020, they have a picture of, it's a picture of him with a light-skinned woman, and the same lady is saying, "These old weak men always got to go get them light-skinned or white women." Regarding this colorism, I did say that we men talk a more colorist game than we actually play, because women are not being pushed out and excluded as a whole based on shade. It can happen based on other things, and there are men that'll say, "I like them light-skinned," but women aren't actually being pushed out. A man will tell you, "I like them light-skinned," and he's with a dark-skinned woman or a brown-skinned woman, because that's what's available. Now I'm gonna start saying to men, because women have the right to their preferences and they hold to them, especially when their preferences are bad for them, like a character flaw is a necessity. He got to have bodies, or he got to be able to rob some people, stuff like that. Oh, okay, all right, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and say, well, since they've got the right to these preferences, and even a slut has the right to say no to some dude and loudly just to make him look worse than every other guy out there, if they got these rights, fine, okay? Gentlemen, as a black and as a formerly pro-black, now pro-black male Pan-Africanist, I'm sitting here and telling you that if your preference is lighter-skinned women, then you don't settle for anything else. And if your preference is darker-skinned women, or if it's medium-skinned women, you settle for nothing else. If you're going to settle outside the race. Why? Because that's how the sisters are. If they're going to settle, they'll settle outside the race. They don't settle within the race until they are old and you got to settle for them. Within the race, they stay with these standards. And dysfunctional, destructive standards at that. And you're not required to sit up here and tolerate crazy stuff like this. Anyway, like standards like you got to have bodies, and you got to be done rob somebody, you got to be done served, enough time in prison to where they should be questioning whether or not you even gave up the booty or took somebody else's booty. It's funny because the guys that don't go to jail are the ones they think are the gayest, so to speak. But they've never been to jail, let alone prison. So anyway, that being said, look. Let me say this about this colorism right quick. I didn't see that growing up. When I was coming up, light skin and especially light skin and straight hair were the liabilities. Even if women liked them, they were liabilities. These women did not want that, at least not to be seen out in public. And they didn't apologize for it. They didn't want it, didn't want to be seen out in public with it, and you better not be around them with that mess. Now, somebody put this meme up, which means they lived it. And I mentioned this before, and this reminded me again. If there's any truth to that meme, and you all may know, then all this means is that sisters have been taking any complexion of a man and using that against them, any phenotype and using that against them. And I think that that's realistic, because even when I found that my phenotype was a liability, the fact remains that their phenotypes, brothers with a more normal phenotype, while they had more girlfriends, so to speak, and they had, I guess you could say, more attention, more validation, even then, they still thought I was getting more. That means that while they were getting validation from these women were saying to them, well, I usually like them light-skinned with so-called good hair. But they were still getting with these men. With me, they were like, oh, I usually like them dark-skinned. Like they were doing me a favor. The last time a woman said that to me, she made me know she was doing me a favor. That woman cheated like, I can't even tell you how. She cheated in front of people that knew me. Anyway, I'm just going to, tell y'all straight like this. Look, at the end of it all, if different men of different phenotypes are hearing the same thing, that just means they're trying to play the two against each other. And the only reason to do something like that is to be difficult, and you're not required to tolerate that. Thanks for listening. Again, gentlemen, remember, you're not required to be patient so they can be stupid. So thanks for being patient with me in this message and listening. Black heart, black mind, black out, assalamu alaikum. And black heterosexual non-select male power just because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.